I'm excited to learn about this new personality type that I never heard of before until recently. It's called the Sigma male, and from what I've learned about it so far, it's pretty much what I naturally. I feel that that's what I naturally am, and I feel that that's what Kung Fu is all about. I feel that that's what real martial arts is about, and I never felt that I really belonged in any group. I felt like I'm the type of person who kind of does my own thing. I'm not the type where I'm not really like outspoken and the type that's always talking a lot or the center of attention and whatnot. But I'm more kind of like in the kind of reserved in the background. But I'll speak when I need to speak and things like that. There's a lot to learn out there. There's a lot of videos out there that's talking about this personality type, the Sigma male. So people that are interested, you should take a look at it. But I feel they're using examples of Sigma males. They say like basically one of them would be Keanu Reeves when he's playing in that movie John Wick or something like that. And maybe even in his own personal life, the way he truly is, he might be more of a Sigma male. So we all know, or at least most of us know, that there's the alpha and the beta. And those are the ones that are the most well known, and those are the ones that people talk about the most. But there's other personality types other than just the alpha and beta. I learned about the sigma, and I guess there's other ones as well, but I haven't been looking up in those other ones because I've been looking at the sigma. I know, but that I'm not the alpha. Because to me, that type of personality, there's something about it that just turns me away, and it's just not who I am. It's pretty much like the person who's like super extroverted, super competitive, um, very high ego, um, always got to be the center of attention and all those things. And that's typically the type of personality that you're going to find in the military, law enforcement, um, like football, wrestling, boxing, like combat sport. Like it's like that dominating personality. And I've never been that way. That's not who I am. But usually that's the personality that's for the most for the most part is the one that's highly valued in the culture that we live in. And then there's the beta personality, which is, pretty much like the follower, the one that seeks approval, um, the one usually that the alpha will lead, the more submissive role. Um, they don't like to be the center of attention, and they're the ones who just they want to fit into the group. So I'm not either one of those. Like I'm not the beta, I'm not the alpha, and it just didn't fit me. But when I learned about the sigma, I'm like, man, that's exactly how I am, and that's how I naturally am. And I feel like the sigma personality is also kind of like a symbol of what Tao is and what the Tao Te Ching teaches. So it's really lined up with the Chinese martial arts. It's like this hidden power that's not like in your face, and it's more subtle. It also has kind of like the power of humbleness, the power of humility. It's not that arrogance, it's not that, you know, competitive power. It's the one where it's you don't have to prove yourself, it's just like you just have the power, but you don't abuse it. So I really people that are interested in it, I really um, encourage you to watch the videos on it so you can learn more about what sets the difference between like kung fu and something that's very aggressive and competitive, like combat sport, like they're not the same. Kung fu is more of the sigma, and then the aggressive combat sport is more like the alpha. And I guess the beta might be something where it's kind of like the wushu or the dance like martial arts, or the ones that are just not, it's not about the fighting, but it's more about the expression of it, um, maybe the tai chi part and things like that. As far as what personality type that Bruce Lee had, from what I know of him and what I've read about him, I'm not really sure if he is an alpha or a beta or a sigma. And I know he's not a beta, but I kind of think that he might be a little bit more alpha, because from what I've read, he always liked to be the center of attention. He was extremely charismatic and um, just very much attention getting, very powerful personality. So, it's, I'm not really sure if he was the sigma in that situation. But I do know which personality that I fall into. It is more the sigma, and that's something that I've always felt, but it's kind of hard to explain it in terms that people understand. Because I know that I love the Tao. Know that I love meditation. I know that I do value humility and humbleness. Um, there's something that really turns me off about arrogance, and something that turns me off about competition. Something that turns me off about people that are willing to do whatever it takes to get on top. Something that turns me off about, um, even in combat sport, when people just knock somebody out or almost kill somebody just to get attention, fame, or money. Like there's something wrong with that to me that just doesn't sit right with me. So as you learn about these videos, it's the sigmas that really, um, they're really they don't really mix too well with alphas, because they are so different in their personalities. And I even noticed that as well when I opened the school and I met a few alphas, and then our energies don't fit well, and then we end up having to separate. Um, and it seems I've met some sigmas where we where we get along really well and we can work together really well. And we always love the betas. The sigmas and the alphas would love to have betas, because the betas are the followers that help expand the group, promote the group, and just facilitate growth. So the betas are always needed, but the leaders, um, it's gonna be either the alpha or the sigma. Um, haven't learned about the other personality types, but those are the two types of leaders that will be needed to, pretty much bring any organization to great success. The examples I would say for sure, Donald Trump is alpha, um, Floyd Mayweather alpha, Muhammad Ali alpha, but the sigma, as far as like people that we know of, is the famous people. I think that it's harder to identify sigmas because they're more hidden from the population. Um, the alphas are all out there, well known, famous, and all those things. But it's just definitely something that interests me, learning about that, and I think I wanted to share that with you. So then maybe you could look into it as well, and then we could get a better understanding of each other.